This video was brought to you by Stormberg, a route planner, MisterGreen, Kempower and Marcus Bil. Yo, what's up? We're now sitting in Millennium Falcon, my Tesla Model S P85 from 2013. And in this video, I will talk about charging, supercharging speed, or in general, actually just fast charging speed. So for you guys who don't know, this car is quite old. It's actually 8 years old, pretty much. And the battery is 7 years old. We replaced the battery in 2014. There was a problem, power switch failure, common problem back then, but it was been fixed, and since then it had no problems whatsoever, with at least with hardware. Software, however, has changed over the years. So okay, let's just start this one. I'll show you what's going on here. So to the left here, you see now this is a Millennium Falcon back in 2014, 15 roughly. Actually 2015. So this is actually with a new battery pack. I was charging at Lier, and you can see how fast it's charging. I started before 10%. You can just see the counter, and then I also did the measurement yesterday with the car after 7 years or 7 years and 265,000 kilometers, and you see that the battery power is lower. That's the same as the charging power there. It's significantly lower than before. And by the way, this is not something a case with just this car. It happens with every 85 pack, P85 or 85 out there. Tesla did something to reduce the speed. They have their reasons. They didn't even inform the owners, and it's been like this for actually, I don't remember how long, at least 2-3 years. They start nerfing, they start reducing the speed around 2-3 years ago. I don't remember, a little bit, and then even more. And this is how it is today. It's been going on like this for a long time. Many Model S owners, these old school Model S owners, they know about this. And you can see direct comparison that it just goes way slower. I will show you more info here, but just showing you side by side, and you see that the battery is not really that hot. This time, yeah, you scan my Tesla to the right, you see that we are hovering around 40 degrees Celsius. The battery was warm enough before we arrived, and it's just doing some cooling during the charging session here. Really, voltage also seems to be similar. I saw that it wasn't anywhere lower voltage than before. And also, when it comes to degradation, I measured after 7 years, the battery has only degraded 11%. There was actually a case where okay, I shouldn't, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to talk too much about the details here, because I guess I have to ask the author. It was a guy again, Green, and the WK057, but it was a case where Tesla did something, software update, to remove lots of range, a significant chunk of range from these 85 packs, but it was just temporarily, and then it came back again. I believe that Millennium Falcon also went through that thing. It's like, it's actually just a pure software change, and that's why we only, fortunately, see only 11% degradation. But actually, the charging speed has been reduced by about 30%, if you look at the numbers here. So that's quite massive. So we can't just say, we can't just blame the age and say, okay, but dude, your battery's old, it's supposed to charge this slow. No, it's not supposed to charge this slow. We have even heard about cases with Ioniqs now getting older. Ioniq should be around 5 years old now, and they don't, they still charge almost as fast as before, or some people claim they've charged as fast as before. They can still hit 65, well, that guy claims 70 kilowatt, but I've seen at least 65 kilowatt before it rapid gates. So you see, even Ioniq doesn't do that after many years and many kilometers. So this is purely a software update, and I think it might have something to do with warranty cases that Tesla had, because you can ask yourself, you know, around roughly 2, 3, 4 years ago, you guys heard it on social media. You will see on Facebook people would post about Model S battery packs getting bricked. They had to be rescued by tow truck. It kept happening many times, and then suddenly, around 2, 3 years ago, it stopped happening. What happened then? Well, This is what happened. Tesla restricted the supercharger speed, and then apparently it seems to fix the problem, because then batteries, they don't break anymore, fortunately. It's just that the owners, they have to take a penalty in charging speed. So this sucks, of course. You see at let me see how far. Yeah, I only charged to 80%, and this, and to the left there, the old charging session. This was, by the way, at supercharger Lier. So that one is done already. It took 30, wait, how long did it take again? 46 minutes, I think it was. And then I kept charging the other one here. I actually charged to 90%, so I have data. I can show the data charging to 90%. But by the way, so I don't have charging session or data for that, the old charging session on that site, but I have another one with the old battery from I recorded in 2014 at Gol, but I saw that the charging session or the charging speed was more or less the same. So if you look at this graph, you can say that, yeah, so actually past 80% here on the blue line is from a different charging session, but it's supposed to be more or less the same. So that's why we can assume, we can extrapolate the same result. You see that it goes like this. This is how it was in the glorious days of Millennium Falcon. We will peak at 115, 116 kilowatt, and then have a gentle, typical charging curve for a lithium battery, I guess. In terms of C rating, this is an 85 kilowatt hour pack. So yeah, we were charging a little bit over 1C in the beginning, and then it drops under 1C. So this is pretty kick-ass tech back then. Remember, this happened around 2013-14, so 8 years ago, right? 7-8 years ago. No other cars back then could match this speed. The i3s and Leafs, they were charging at only 40 kilowatt, which is 40 to 45 kilowatt down here somewhere, right? But then here Tesla nerfed the speed to the point where fast charging or long trips becomes cumbersome. It's almost not fun anymore. So what I also noticed, I didn't show you because nowadays I only start from 10%, but if you charge from 0%, you will peak at usually around 120 kilowatt, but only for a brief moment. I'm talking about seconds here, not even minutes, just seconds. You will get that speed, and then it will drop quite fast. So what will usually happen when I experience it in the 1000 kilometer challenge recently is that, yeah, you will get 120 kilowatt briefly if you start with 0%, but you don't get the flat 120 kilowatt until 10%. It's just that you shift this whole graph kind of down there, and then for the most time you see that you will be riding on, I don't know, somewhere between 60 and 80 kilowatts only. So this is really bad. This is, like I said, okay, maybe for some batteries when they degrade, maybe you will see a slight decline in speed naturally, because as battery ages, internal resistance increases, but this is not normal. You know, this is caused by software update. This is not what's supposed to be. And here I show you how many kilometers of range, well, typical range, do you gain after certain minutes. So we compare the 2015 session with the 21 session, and you see that typically if you want to stop for, let's say, well, if you just top up, like I tend to do back in the days, in the glorious day of Millennium Falcon, I might stop only for 20 minutes to top up, and then I will have 160 kilometers. Okay, good, just hammer it. But now we get way less. So it's like this. Yeah, you can see here, what used to take 15 minutes now takes 20 minutes. And then for a longer stop, let's say you have a food break, okay, let's say for 45 minutes you will gain 276 kilometers. Now it will take over an hour to gain that same. You see the big difference here? 45 minutes versus over an hour. And then if we look at the other one here, this is then how much to gain, how long does it take to gain certain amount of range. So yeah, again, if you just top up, you want to top up 200 kilometers. Remember that this is 200 kilometer typical range. So when you go on the motorway, you're cruising at 120, 130 kilometers per hour, you might get only 150, 130 kilometers. So that's what I typically did back in the days. You know, I would just go there, top up for half an hour maybe, grab a burger, and then I'm off on the road. But now it would, instead of taking half an hour, it would take, 42 minutes, you know. So, and the problem is that if you want to get more range, if you want to actually utilize the whole battery, it takes even longer time. So yeah. So again, man, I could talk so much about this. So why did Tesla do this? Well, like I said initially, it's probably to protect the battery, because they know that this car has problems, and they just did some quick fix. And apparently it seems to work, because I haven't seen any cases for the past, I don't know how many years now. I haven't seen any post of anyone saying that their 85 packs went brick and then, well, actually, okay, I'm lying. It still happens. Yeah, it still happens. My cousin had bought a second-hand P85, if I remember correctly, and he had a problem with the battery. Tesla replaced it on warranty, and then he was so lucky to get a 90 kilowatt-hour pack. But this is the new series 90 kilowatt-hour pack with the lower voltage, 350 volts roughly only. But it's 90 kilowatt hour. I guess they have fixed the problems that the early packs like this one actually has. And then he used to get around 100, 110-ish kilowatt max. Now he peaks at 128 kilowatt. So he's one of the lucky guys who won the lottery and got the new battery pack. But think about this. There are tens of thousands of people who bought early Model S back in 2013-14, and they have this same problem like me. This is not just one case, it happens with every Tesla out there. What are they supposed to do, right? They can of course hope that the battery pack will fail and they will get a new one, but many people, they also just get a refurbished one. And some people are also not happy because suddenly they claim at least that they have then gotten a battery with more degradation or lower range than they had before. But of course Tesla is not required to give people new battery if the other one fails. They just have to fix it. So what can you do then? Can you upgrade the battery? Well, I guess if you go to Tesla, they say no, or they don't have any cases. Or I mean, from what I heard, people who get new battery is under warranty. If you go to Tesla, they will say, no, we don't do this, or they don't want to do this, because if this happens, of course, you will hear about it. So yes, based on this, I'd say that the number of cases of bricked batteries or defect modules or something, or battery packs that fails, has been reduced greatly to the point where we almost don't hear about it anymore. And then, yeah, but is this fair? Is this okay? Unfortunately for me, I don't drive this car too much anymore. I'm just doing all the other stuff, but I can see the frustration with other people who bought Tesla back in the days when Tesla was small. Nobody believed in the tech. People are laughing at the supercharger. They ain't laughing today, are they? No. But back then, when Tesla needed early adopters like me back in the days, people bought the car. They wanted to support Tesla. They were enjoying the cars, and then 5-6 years later, suddenly they just got severely reduced charging speed. And Tesla didn't even tell people about this. They didn't send an email. They didn't tell anything what's going on. People just noticed that it was just going slower than usual. And is this okay? I guess it is okay, right? Because Tesla, they have so many customers. They don't care about the old folks anymore, right? I think they should take care of the customers, because I can take two examples here. I don't remember what it was with all the details, but Volkswagen last year, I think, they had some cases where, you know, the ID3s that came out, Volkswagen was bragging a bit about how efficient the heat pump was supposed to be, but then by accident I found out that it wasn't that efficient in winter. and also some German, I think it was Next Move, they also did some measurement, and they also found out that the car without heat pump had about the same consumption as the one with heat pump. So it turns out that, I don't know what they did, Volkswagen, why it didn't work as intended, but they compensated the owners, as far as I remember. So lots of ID3 owners, they were given some gift card or something. I think it was around, correct me if I'm wrong, but let's say it was around 400, 500 euros as a compensation for this. And then the second case I want to mention is Polestar. I think this also happened last year. There was, or maybe, yeah, I think it was last year, right? Polestar, I guess they had some promises about something. I don't remember again what it was, if it was software update or something. And then they couldn't meet the time schedule, and stuff was delayed. But they, as a compensation for the owners, they gave away 500 euros in charging credit for plug surfing. So again, I also heard about this. Lots of Norwegians, at least, they received plug surfing. So as a compensation for this. And then what happened with the Tesla owners who got a 30% supercharger speed reduction? Did they get compensation? I mean, we have free supercharging, right? So we don't need free supercharging. And some people say, well, but you have free supercharging, stop complaining. Well, but the thing is that the free supercharging was something that we knew we would get when we bought the car. And also, I remember early adopter like me, you also got a 12.8K NOK, I think it was, in around 1,200 euros in discount for ordering the car before a certain date. But all that stuff is something we all knew that, okay, we will get the bonus, like it's like the carrot to get you to buy the car early. But no one back then, or no one at Tesla told you that, oh, in 6-7 years, the supercharger speed will not be 120 kilowatt anymore. It's going to be mostly around 70-80 kilowatt, and you'll be charging way slower. If people knew that, they probably wouldn't buy the car back then, right? So, well, I could rant about this forever, but now you guys have seen the numbers. The supercharger goes so slow, and I guess this is even best case for me because I properly heated up the battery. So I guess if you're not even prepared that much, you might be riding only on around 50 kilowatt. I've seen lots of people complain about this, like, what the heck? But on the other hand, nowadays, I don't hear about it too much, but it still exists, this problem. It's just that people are not complaining about it, and then it just kind of goes silent under the carpet. But it's still there. And the problem is that old cars, like, okay, let me put it this way. From time to time, I see on, for example, e-tron group. e-tron, you know, e-tron charges really fast. So many times I see on e-tron group, those e-tron owners, they charge side by side with the Tesla. And then the e-tron, of course, finish charging within typically 20 minutes. Or you want to go 100%? Yeah, it takes around 30 minutes. Then you're good. Yeah, you're done. And then they post that, hey, I was charging my e-tron next to some Tesla. And then when I came there, the Tesla was charging. And then I charged to 100%. And then when I left, the Tesla was still charging there. Well, many cases, that was an old 85 charging there. It takes forever to charge there. So this is a signal we'll be giving people, other people, and also other brands, is that Tesla or EVs, they take forever to charge. Tesla is great when it's new, yes, but after 5-6 years, it's going to be shit, right? But at least my prediction is that this is hopefully only a problem with this pack, 85 pack. The 90 and the 75 pack that came later, like the one that is in Optimus Prime, it was also reduced, but not that bad. We were talking about maybe around 10% reduction in supercharger speed, but it happened back in around 2016-17. But then a couple of years ago, they unnerved the speed. So we've seen that Optimus Prime, okay, when Optimus was new, okay, it's a Tesla Model X P90D ludicrous. He used to receive around 115, 118 kilowatt max, but then after supercharging a lot, it started derating. So the speed went lower and lower and lower, and it was actually, I believe it was a cap in current. So it was capped at around 280 amps. So when you came there with 5%, 10%, you will get only around 80 kilowatt, and then it slowly went up to 95 kilowatt. And that was the peak, 95 kilowatt versus 115 kilowatt. But now the same battery pack has been unlocked. So now that battery pack peaks at 140 kilowatt. It goes way faster to around 40%, but then it actually charges slower than before. But most people, they just need to top up to around 50% if they are in a rush anyway. And if they need charge to 60, 70%, the charging time is more or less the same as before. But what I'm saying is that those battery packs are also getting old. They are around 6 years old, but they're still doing fine, charging almost faster than before. Well, actually not faster than before, but more or less the same as before. And then also Model 3 packs are starting to come now, but we also don't see any big decrease in speed on those packs. So from what I think and what I heard, I think this only applies to this pack, because this was the first like mass-produced. Well, I mean, the Roadster, the classic Roadster was also mass-produced. It was like the really big thing, you know, with the Tesla, is that this was the first battery pack they put in the Tesla Model S, and it was shipped and sold, many of them, but it had some design flaws. And then Tesla, fortunately, hopefully learned from this and made sure that future battery packs, for example, the 90 and the 100 and the Model 3 packs and whatever comes after, does not have this problem. So hopefully in, let's say, 5 years, we will not see Model 3, for example, or Model Y get this same supercharger speed nerf. It might maybe degrade a little bit, but that's just natural because the battery ages. So yeah, long speech about this, but yeah, I guess I can ask you guys, do you own a Tesla Model S 85, P85 or 85D? Do you get the slow charging speed? I think you have. I bet many people have. So is there anything you can do? Should we accept this? I don't know. So I just show you guys the data and told you about what I know about this. So I think that's going to be it for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, thank you for watching and talk to you later.